Okay, so we're back in Nuke. We've now installed Cryptomattes, and you can see this lovely Cryptomatte icon down here. Now, this scene is our advanced Back to Beauty comp, and I've brought in our utility layer. So, let's use this menu, Cryptomatte, and let's make one there. There we go. So we can see something that looks a bit like a matte layer, but you very simply have this lovely pick it add. So if I want to select the plant, I can just Control Shift select, and it adds it to the matte. And I can select some other things. As you can see, I can actually select individual things. And if I view the alpha by pressing A, you can see I have the alpha of just my selection. So it's pretty cool. Now, because these can be a little bit heavy, you've got lots of them. In the Advanced tab, you can use the Cryptomatte to export your final matte as just an expression. So you see it disables the actual Cryptomatte node and creates an expression node that produces the same result. I'm going to undo that, go back to the Cryptomatte. Now if we don't want something in a selection, let me just get rid of that. We can actually, and press A to view things, you can use the pick and remove to just deselect things. So, and as you can see, in fact, let me just do a pick and add, and pick and add, and pick and remove, pick and remove. So it's pretty cool. That might be useful if you want to select something that's inside something else, like this whiskey in the bottle. You can just do that. Pick and add, pick and add. And it's a bit like selecting in Maya actually. So you can see it's picked, because it's refracting, it's picked the whiskey and the desk. So you can use the pick and remove to remove the desk. So much like you would when selecting vertices or faces in Maya, you can select the bigger range and then deselect. And so now we have just the whiskey within the bottle. And I can remove that. So let's do something with our lampshade. We haven't got a matte for that in our other mattes. Now, as you can see, if I bring this node out, it actually gives the name based on the name within Maya. So I've got an alpha now, and I can plug that into a grade node. And let's see, I can take this, and rather than doing it at the bottom of the tree, I'm going to do this to the diffuse. So now view the bottom, and we will change the shade, the color of our lampshade, while keeping it within the same lighting quality. So let's make a red, a sort of more green, slightly blue lampshade. Bit of green, take some of the red out, put a little bit back to make it a bit less saturated. So there we have a nice, well, I don't know about nice, but we have a blue lampshade, and we can do various other things. Now you can make as many of these Cryptomatte nodes as you want. So I can make another one. You can also, once you've installed it, you can use the old trick of doing tab and a tab and start typing Cryptomatte. So there we go. And now I can, from here, it starts from 0, so I can just keep these in a big pipe. I can make another one, and I can set the plants, and again I may want to affect not the whole thing, but I'm probably going to start to affect the reflections, because they're a bit too reflective, this plant. So let's do a color correct on there. Let's again view the result, and let's bring down, so look at our plant, let's bring down some of these. Let's close this, let's pop this out. Let's bring down the plant, its reflections, make it a little bit drier. Perhaps it's not been watered for a while. This guy's busy drinking whiskey and solving crime, so he's not watering his plant. And bring down the saturation. We can use this same matte in the SSS. Since our plant is not doing very well, let's say, we can again plug in a color correct, plug that into our Cryptomatte, and desaturate a little bit, just a little bit, maybe yellow it a little bit, and there we go. So we've got a slightly less healthy plant, We've got a slightly garish looking lampshade. And all thanks to Cryptomattes. So I hope you enjoyed that. They're very powerful. Now I'm just going to say one last thing before I close the lesson, and that is, as the shapes can change, and you will find the names will change, and this can cause problems with compositors, and I've known compositors complain about this on quite big productions. I would suggest keep still using the traditional method to create your hero mats. So in a scene like this, obviously we're going to want to do the whiskey. We're probably going to want a mat for the gun. These are the subject of our render. In the case of a product shoot, obviously the product itself, you might want to create mats. But the great thing about the Cryptomattes is they give you mats for everything. Everything you might not have thought of. You might not have thought of supplying a mat for the wire or for the plant pot. And in this way, you know that you have coverage for any mats the compositors may desire. So I would still use the multi-mat to create, as I say, the most important mats of your scene, but the Cryptomatte is a fantastic addition for any software that's supported. So far, I know Nuke, Flame and Fusion, but I'm sure there will be more. And if you're very clever at coding, you could probably add one. Everything is out there on open source. So I hope you enjoyed that, and thank you very much.